They say breed the best to the best and hope for the best.
Vekoma broke well on the outside.
But you don't expect to get speed like this.
It is Vekoma, the one to catch. Vekoma has a 5-length lead in this grade 1 corner. Inside, Vekoma continues to battle on down at the rail. It is Vekoma who's going to win the Met Mile.
Well, we're in the home stretch now. Hello, everybody. I'm Mike Welsch coming to you with the final DRF Kentucky Derby Clocker report for 2022. All the major preparations are just about over now, although we did have plenty of activity here this morning. We'll get to that shortly. I want to thank the good people at Spendthrift Farm for sponsoring these videos and wish them the best of luck with the 2 horses they've bred in this year's race. 'Tis the Bomb and White Barrio. So like I said, again, all the major work was over, but plenty of gallops, plenty of activity on the track this morning. It started out pretty early, too, surprisingly. Trainer Todd Pletcher sent out all his Derby and all his Oaks horses between 5:30 and 6 a.m. this morning. Again, all 3 of those Derby horses looking terrific. For Todd, we had Messier out early this morning, looking a little less aggressive than he did yesterday. Epicenter also out around 5:45 for a pretty routine gallop, 1.25 miles today. And then everybody else. Barber Road was also out before the 7:30, 7:45 Oaks Derby session. Everybody else came out then. I'm just going to go down the Derby field now quickly, talk about what these horses did today, and just a quick impression. Starting with Mo Donegal on the rail. He was out again, like I said, at 5:30 for a routine gallop. He's looked good in his works. Inside draw, maybe not a factor for a horse that's going to come from so far out of it, but he's doing well here. Happy Jack, very aggressive gallop this morning. Big long shot in the race, but he was full of himself, feeling good today. Epicenter, as I said, a relatively routine gallop today. He's trained well. Going to be probably the second choice when the smoke clears, and deserving off his recent efforts. Summer is tomorrow. Going to be a pace factor in the race. Trains a lot on that left lead here, which is not surprising, coming over from Maidan as he has been. His last work, nothing wrong with that. Again, like I said, an important member of this field as a big pace factor. Smile Happy had some good days, has had some not so good days. Got really hot here yesterday on a pretty cool morning. This morning, not as hot. Took him a little while to warm up, but he did get very aggressive coming by the wire and finishing his gallop on the backstretch today. Messier, as I said, went out early this morning. Seemed a little aggressive yesterday in his gallops. Not quite so this morning. Looked like his final work at Santa Anita, from what I saw on tape, was pretty good. Crown Pride, what could you say about Crown Pride? He took the morning off after that big work here yesterday. He's been impressive. He's kind of a giant question mark looming over this field, but you couldn't be training any better, I don't think, than Crown Pride has been coming into the race. Charge It has looked good on a regular basis since he's gotten here, work-wise and gallop-wise, and he had another one of those strong but controlled gallops this morning. 'Tis the Bomb, his work's pretty much in maintenance mode. The last 2 works here with Smile Happy. Zandon, he's looked terrific on a regular basis. His works have been great. He's like a machine when he gallops, a deserved favorite, and to me, probably the most logical winner, assuming he can get that all-important clean trip in the Derby. Pioneer of Medina has done nothing wrong in his training here. He's looked good, just like his 2 Pletcher stablemates. Taiba took the morning off today after blowing out 3/8 yesterday. Simplification got really aggressive today, almost in runoff mode. It's the most aggressive I've seen him since he's been here. He did his major preparations for the Derby at Gulfstream Park and looked really, really good doing it. Barber Road, yesterday, I didn't get a good look at him this morning. Yesterday, I wasn't quite as impressed with him yesterday as I had been in gallops maybe last week. A late closer in the race. He's going to need a fast pace. White Barrio looked terrific yesterday. This morning, I think it looked like they did a little less with them purposefully. They kept them way out past the middle of the racetrack, a little more subdued today for White Barrio. Cyberknife has arguably worked as good as anybody here at Churchill Downs over the past 2 weeks. His last 2 works and he was pretty aggressive this morning too. A good sign. He was on his toes today. Classic Causeway, nothing wrong with his two pre-Derby works. Two back, they worked. The work was good enough for Brian Lynch to decide to put him in the race. He is also going to be a certain pace factor on Saturday. Tawny Port has had a good couple of weeks since I've been here. Zozos, his stablemate as well, looked very good, both working and in the morning. He had another good morning today, but with only 3 starts under his belt in that outside post, a little, 2 big obstacles to overcome. An Ethereal Road, the last one in, and he's going to be also the last one in the starting gate post 20. Not a good thing for Ethereal Road. The one horse I did want to mention among the Oak starters this morning that I caught my eye was Desert Dawn. She's coming into the race in good form. She won the Santa Anita Oaks. She had a good work at Santa Anita before shipping here, and I thought she looked really good this morning out on the racetrack. So that about sums it up. I hope you've enjoyed the last 10 days or so, learned something from these videos, and hopefully we'll get you on a winner or two, both Oaks Day and Derby Day. The weather now, the biggest question mark, looked like a lot of rain in the forecast Friday and perhaps some on Saturday as well. So we'll hope that does not happen. We get a fast and fair track for everybody here. So thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And again, stay right here, not only for the best pre-race coverage of this year's Derby and Oaks, for certainly the best race and post-race coverage of this year's Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks at DRF.com.